OpenCV weekly webinar, and I am Satya Malik. I'm the CEO of OpenCV.org. Our guest this week is Afriz Gan, CEO of Mangdang, who created the cute and powerful Mini Pupper Robotics Kit last year. And they launched it using a Kickstarter campaign, which was a massive success. And this year, they have another Kickstarter campaign for Mini Pupper 2, which is about to end in 2 days. So you just have 2 days left. If you like it, go check it out. You know, it is an amazing robotics kit. And this not only supports the ROS framework, the latest ROS 2, it also works with OpenCV AI Kit. So go check out the Kickstarter campaign. You would love it. Before Afriz takes over, I want to introduce Phil Nelson also, who is the Director of Content and Creative at OpenCV. And if anything goes wrong with this show, it's his fault.
Yes, thank you, Satya. It is me once again, the co-host with the co-most, the second banana who is second to none. I am also your +1 and only Phil Nelson. I'm here to remind you of a few things we do every single week here on OpenCV Weekly Webinar. The first of which is a giveaway to you in the audience. If you're watching on Zoom, you will have the chance to win the OpenCV course of your choosing. If you're not on Zoom, you can get there by going to opencv.live. Later on in the episode, I will ask a trivia question based on the slides from our guest, and you will have the chance to win. Also, before we get started here, we will be we're doing Q&A from you in the audience, so please use the Zoom Q&A button at the bottom of your screen to ask your question, or ask your question wherever you're watching in the comments section on LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, etc. And we'll do our best to answer those as we go along here during the show. A couple more announcements before we get going here. First of which is we're coming up on the deadline for OpenCV AI Competition 2022. That's December 18th. If you're working on a project there, go ahead and post an update on social media. Let people know what you're working on. Show them the cool progress you've made over the competition so far using the OAK22 hashtag. Once again, final projects are due December 18th. Also, continuing with the robotics theme here, this is your last chance to get in on the RAY campaign from Luxonis, Robotics Access for Everyone, and save big off of the regular price of that product once it becomes available. Go to Kickstarter, search for RAY, that's R-A-E. You've only got about, I think, 20 some hours left to get in on that. So go get in on it. Also, congratulations to our grand prize winners of the OpenCV AI scavenger hunt. I am confirming with those winners right now a few things, but y'all have an email from me. We will do a little fancier of a unveiling on the next episode of the show, and hopefully have a word from the winners as well. Thanks to everybody who participated in that. It went pretty well, and I think that our sponsors were happy, so we may do it again. You can sign up to know when we do it again by going to opencv.org/hunt. That's all for me for now. Back to you, Satya.
Great. I mean, let's get started. I am very eager to learn about Mini Pupper 2. It's your show.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Satya. Hi, Phil. Hi, everyone. I'm very glad to join the show. Yeah, hi, everyone. I'm Afriz, product manager of Mangdang company, Mini Pupper product. Today, I'm very glad to show our Mini Pupper, and I will share our Mini Pupper background and story and Mini Pupper feature, and then introduce our new version, Mini Pupper 2. This is our agenda today. First, I will about early 2020, almost 3 years ago, I tried to build my first robot dog project, Stanford Pepper. And at that time, I spent about 2 months to build the project because at that time the user guide is not very clear, and the main reason is I have any experience to build the real robot dog project. So I have spent 2 months. But I remember maybe I was the second guy to build the project in the group. And yeah.
Was this a class project, or is it something that you were doing for your research?
Just for fun, because I love robot and hope to build my own robot project. So I tried from Stanford Pepper project.
Oh, nice. Yes.
I love the little glued on eyeballs on this prototype here. It reminds me of Gurr from the Invader Zim cartoon.
Yeah, yeah. After I was very excited when I built my Stanford Pepper project and ran it, and then I shared my know-how in the group, and also answered some question from the new guys to answer their questions and learn each other, and someday. Nathan Cow, the Stanford Pepper project leader, give me a comment, and then we discussed by mail and by video conference, and then finally we discussed how to deliver Stanford Pepper to global users, and finally I was Mangdang as the vendor to deliver Stanford Pepper project until now, and yeah,
That's a fascinating story. I get emails almost every day. I get an email from somebody asking for a job, or they usually use this phrase, give me an opportunity and I'll show you how good I am. That kind of email that, look at my resume, things like that. But what I find fascinating is that only a few people say that, look, this is what I have done, and this is what I can teach you, right? No, this is the thing that people, when you're hiring somebody who's hiring you, they want somebody to be better than themselves, right? You cannot say that, oh, I want to learn from you. You should say that this is what I'm going to teach you. This is the value I'm going to provide to you, right? And what you did is exactly the same. You didn't go asking, you started a discussion and you started contributing before you asked for anything. And in fact, you didn't have to ask for anything. The founder of the project came to you and you started discussing, right? And that happens all the time. People, if you are good and if you're in the right, if you're good and visible, right? The two things need to happen. You're doing some work and you're visible. If you're invisible, you're doing in your own corner and not sharing it with the world, then it becomes difficult. But if you're good and visible, people will seek you out. People will find you and work with you, right? I love the story.
Yeah, exactly. I will share more information later. And as I know, when you share something, maybe you will get much more from others.
Yeah.
Is my knowledge. So after the Stanford Pepper project is based on Linux operation system, and they are it not support Ubuntu ROS. And as I have some technical background of robotics product, so I want to support ROS SLAM navigation and also want to try OpenCV AI features. So I based Stanford Pepper project, I tried ROS SLAM and navigation. And then, as you know, after we, as the vendor of the Stanford project, after delivered the hundreds of devices all over the world, we got many feedback. And so someday I thought we can do it much better. So we decided to do the new project that is the Mini Pupper. Actually, Mini Pupper name is come from Nathan Cow, and we discussed what's the name is for the small size robot. So we decided to name it Mini Pupper.
How big was the Pupper project size? The original Pupper robot?
Yeah, Mini Pupper is hosted by the Mangdang, by our company.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but Stanford Pupper, how large was it? What was the size? Just
it's
the
about
dimensions.
maybe this kind of maybe four time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So much bigger than Mini Pupper.
Yeah. Yes. So if we decide to make a new project or new product, we have to balance some important item. For example, the cost, performance, and the security. And for the cost, I spend almost $3,000 to build Stanford Pepper. But actually the BOM cost is about $1,000. But actually, before I have no any experience, so broke many components. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we really want to make a low cost version, but we really want to make Mini Pupper not a toy. We really want to build the project as a platform, robot dog platform, to not only for the maker, for beginner, but also for maker and beyond. So we have to balance the cost, performance, and the security. For security, Stanford Pepper, we use a powerful servo, and actually I hurt my hand several times during build the project because the torch is a little bit strong. So we also want to build a more safe robot for. So this is our target for Mini Pupper. Finally, I was lucky, just as I said before, I only shared very limited my know-how to the group, to others, but I got much more help from the community. And before we start the Mini Pupper project, many users or friends give us much more help and to make the Mini Pupper to real product. Yeah, that is the Mini Pupper. It is a cool robot that make robotics easier for schools, makers, and beyond. And last year we released it, and it meet our target. And users can DIY the shells, the covers, and also DIY the joint control algorithm, and also can run row slam navigation. Of course, OpenCV AI features also support. You can try or enjoy the object detection, object following, gesture control, and many more interesting use cases. Yeah, I think it is very interesting to share each other.
Yes, and you know, a lot of the projects we see for these robots, like the Ray project, for example, most of them are, you know, based on wheels and not these sort of discrete legs, which is part of what's really interesting about this project to me, because it sort of changes the modalities of how it can move. And with, you know, customizable gaits like this, you can really, like, it wouldn't have issues walking on, you know, cobblestones, things like uneven surfaces where some other robots might have serious problems. It's really neat.
Yeah, it is very time consuming because we spend several months to custom our servo. You know, the servo component is the most expensive part in the product.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a lot of cheap ones that don't have the stability, or maybe they're louder, they're slower, things like this.
Yeah, exactly. I live in the servo factory for several weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. At first, I said to them there is some problem, and it broke very easily. They will say, "Oh, there is no, already perfect, no any solution to optimization." But
sounds like a manufacturer to me.
Yeah, I said you must help me to fix. But
right.
finally, we find the solution.
That's great. I also want to share this. There are these two poetic lines from an Indian poet. His name is Majru Sultanpuri, and he wrote this beautiful lines. I'll say that in Urdu first, and then I'll translate it to English. The Urdu version is that मैं अकेला ही चला था जानिबे मंजिल मगर लोग साथ आते गए और कारवां बनता गया. So it means that I started alone in my journey towards my goal, and people started joining, and our caravan actually kept growing, right? And this is a classic example of that kind of, when you start alone on a project and you have a goal, people are inspired by your goal, they keep joining, helping you, and the whole group keeps growing. This is a beautiful example.
Yeah, exactly. So this year we also did some global workshop. For example, AWS Remars, RoseCon workshop, Ubuntu Summit, and AWS re-event. And in every workshop, everyone can enjoy and play the Mini Pupper, and we discussed in person and get much more feedback from the users. Actually, we already delivered several thousand Mini Pupper devices all over the world, and got many more feedback. From early this year, from early this year, we already started to deliver Mini Pupper, and then we decided to make it better, because we want to make it better and better. So we decided to make a Mini Pupper 2, the new version. Actually, there are so many cool updates, and I will show you the key important update one by one. And first, Mini Pupper is based on Raspberry 4B board, and we can mount the 3D camera module, OpenCV AI Kit 3D camera module and LiDAR at the same time. But because the size is very limited, and if you want to mount the camera module and the LiDAR and run them at the same time, it's not easy. It can run, but it looks not perfect. So we decided to make optimize the mechanical design to make it easier to mount the more sensors to looks not only can run, but it looks much better. So we decided in Mini Pupper 2, we decide based on CM4 module, also Raspberry CM4 module, similar performance with Raspberry 4B, but it's only a computer module. We can put it inside the body. Just we can put it inside CM4 module inside. So it is very convenient to mount camera module and LiDAR and more sensors. Yeah, this is the mechanical optimization. Also, when we delivered many devices, the default we use a battery to work. During our development in our team, we use a DC power supply to develop and debug for a long time. But for users, most of the users, they have no DC power supply. They can only use a battery. But the battery can only make it work for about half an hour. It is very not convenient to develop new features or debug, because they are only half an hour. Yeah. So we decided to make a customer power adapter. So users can use a power adapter to develop and debug for a long time. The battery only for the few, their new features. And we also support mobile app to control it easily. Yeah. The next update is the high performance. We on Mini Pupper there are no AMU and no MCU, but in Mini Pupper 2 we add the AMU and MCU to make it to run it better.
So many users who are listening to us may not be familiar with the terms IMU and MCU. Could you please explain?
Yeah. We say IMU and first On Mini Pupper, we just use the Raspberry 4B, but it runs Linux or Ubuntu, but it's not a real operation, real-time operation system. Use MCU, we can run a real-time operation system. So it is very important to control the serve to movement very smoothly and high performance. Yeah, this is the MCU. For MU, if you want to get some feedback of their position, MU is very important to get the real robot position or pose.
Yeah. The orientation, yeah.
Yeah. One of the most important update is our server, the new server system. On Mini Pupper, we custom powerful serve, but there was no any feedback. For a Stanford Pupper or Mini Pupper, when you assemble all the components together, you have to do the calibration to calibrate every serve to the right position. Although we already prepared several video clips and user guide to tell users what's the meaning of calibration and how to do the calibration, but I think, but it is still, but we still got many help, got many feedback. It is not easy for the beginner to understand the calibration.
Yeah.
So we want to make it easier in the new version. So we want to we hope to do the new serve system at least with position feedback. You can see with the position feedback, we can do the auto calibration. In the Mini Pupper 2 version, we can use only one hardware button. After assemble it, just push one button, calibration is done.
Right.
Yeah. So users cannot care about calibration anymore. That is the reason we use the position feedback.
Right, that's big.
Yeah. For Mini Pupper 2, we have also Mini Pupper 2 Pro version. The difference is Mini Pupper 2 Pro serve is much more powerful. Not only the position feedback, but also the velocity and the torque feedback. With the velocity and torque feedback, we can update our software control system to make it run more smoothly. Yeah, this is for high performance. And another important update is the ROS version. ROS 2, there are several ROS 2 versions. Before the campaign, we enabled the Galactic ROS 2 version. But after our internal discussion several times, we decided it's the right time to support a Humble version. Humble is very important ROS 2 distribution so far, and we want to enable Humble version before we shipping early next year. Now the Humble, you can see the Humble simulation is almost okay. We can run the Humble simulation now, and we are trying our best to implement, to enable Humble on the real Mini Pupper 2 robot. But at first, we will enable Humble on Mini Pupper and then porting to Mini Pupper 2. It's very easily to porting it.
Well, does Mini Pupper work with the gazebo simulator?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the gazebo simulation.
Awesome.
So it's very near to
Very nice.
to deploy to the real robot. Yeah, this is I think maybe next year Mini Pupper 2 will be much more popular than Mini Pupper because we plan to join many more workshop, global workshop to play and enjoy with customer together.
Very nice.
Yeah. And you know, more and more friends are joining our group and work together to make a Mini Pupper or Mini Pupper 2 better and better. And if you someone want to join us, and welcome to work together with us, and we can make it better and better. Okay, that's I want to show the real. This is the real.
Yeah, please go ahead and unshare your screen so we can get the full screen Mini Pupper 2 experience here.
Yeah, I will. Stop. Yeah, this is the
Awesome.
real.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, we can. Yeah.
Is it slightly bigger than the original Pupper, or is it the same size?
Yeah. Almost the same size.
Almost the same size.
Yeah.
Just a little more sleek without the full.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's
Yeah. And it also let me show the mobile app. Wait a moment. And you can use the mobile app to control the robot to work.
nice.
What's cool is,
So
is
in the
the
Kickstarter-
is the mobile app available for Android and iOS, or just one, or just the other?
Our app based on web. Just use a browser.
Great. So you just type in like an IP address or something and do
Yeah,
your
exactly.
browser. That's great.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it works on everything that has a decent browser.
Yeah. You can use the controller or the browser.
That's great. What about the Kickstarter price and availability? When does it become available after the Kickstarter campaign? How many months people have to wait?
Yeah, the price is maybe a little bit higher than Mini Pupper because we have to spend maybe the server is the most expensive part for the robot. Now the new version server may be a little bit higher than Mini Pupper. Yeah.
But on Kickstarter, have not. What is the price if people want to support it right now?
Yeah. It's about from $400 to $600 because we have several kits.
Got it. And when will it become available? Let's say somebody supports it today. When will it become available?
Yeah. We plan to ship. We plan to start shipping from February next year. Yeah.
That's great.
Very
and once you have this kit, let's say I want to teach my kids how to do this, right? Let's say they know Python programming or something. Will they be able to write some interesting, let's say you add OpenCV AI Kit to it for perception, will they be able to program the robot to do various things?
Yeah, we will prepare the detailed user guide online.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And it is for programmers, right? It is a programmable robot, not just playing with on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Just wanted to.
Yeah, we plan to do much more OpenCV AI function on the new version and prepare more user guide to let others use it very easily. Yeah,
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, thanks. Like I'd like to. Can you hold up the Mini Pupper 2 for a little more? I'd like to see the robot a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and spotlight you real quick so it doesn't change. So yeah, can we see the front? The face, as it were? Yeah.
The face?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, it's got no face.
Because I take it for almost 2 months from Japan to Europe and to Las Vegas. And today I found the LCD already broke.
Oh no, poor little guy. So that's one of the questions we got from the audience here is about the face. Moha on YouTube would like to know, is the face customizable? Can you change with the expressions and things that display on the face?
Yeah. You can design. Actually, the LCD displays the picture stored in the in the memory, but you can change.
Does it support like animations, or would you just do different? So are they like PNGs or how are they stored?
PNG and GIF are both okay.
Cool, very cool. And is it monochromatic or is it color?
Yes.
And
we also
cool.
We also supply all the yellow part, 3D printed part. You can also change your favorite color.
Interesting. What material are those parts printed out of?
We will supply the STL file.
Okay. No, I mean the ones that come with it. What material is it? Is it PLA? Is it resin? Like what?
It will be mold part. We will have the mold part because the 3D. At first, we deliver Stanford deliver Mini Pupper. We use 3D printed part, but at last we changed it to mold part. It will looks much beautiful, much better. But anyway, we will supply the STL file to open source it, and users, if user want to change the color, they can print it by self.
Or even if they want to make totally different legs or something. David Wheeler in the chat asked, how many parts are 3D printable? It looks like all the yellow parts are essentially, will you provide files for all the yellow parts on the kit currently? Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
That is great. Francis would like to know, how do you program the pupper? Like, what's the interface? Is it like Python, or what kind of, how can you customize it with software?
Yeah, actually, the software is totally open source, and if you they are all if you want to use Python, that's okay. If you want to develop the algorithm, maybe C++. Yeah.
And so I think you said earlier, you said it was running Ubuntu, but
yeah.
Is that okay? That's very cool. Yeah. It seems it's so much capability for such a small little package. It's really exciting. Moa would also like to know on YouTube, can the pupper get back up if somebody knocks it on its side?
Not yet, I guess.
It seems like a hard problem to solve. Is that something that's possible now, or is it still work in progress?
Yeah,
just work in progress.
That's a very hard problem to the ones that I have seen can do this is the from the
Boston Dynamics ones.
The Boston Dynamics ones. They are
because the size is very small, and every time the foot can move very not high.
Yeah. The ones I've seen do it kind of like they like jiggle to try to get flipped back over, but it being that tall, it's probably pretty tough to do. More questions here. Matthew would like to know which MCU is used in this, which microcontroller is being used in the Mini Pupper 2.
Yeah, we plan to use the ESP32 compatible to Arduino platform.
Yeah. I'm pretty familiar. It's a very popular choice these days for these sort of small embedded projects. Really powerful. It gives you Wi-Fi and stuff like that as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you don't need CM4 module, you can only use the ESP32. It's okay because the Wi-Fi module is built in.
And will that affect your power consumption? Like, will the battery last longer if you're not using the Raspberry Pi compute?
Yeah, exactly. Because exactly. If you only use the MCU version, it will be run a little bit longer.
Interesting. Yeah, that's really cool. Got a couple more questions here from folks. They'd like to know about the servos. Like what I remember on the original campaign that you talked about living in the servo factory. These are like basically custom servos. Like is that the case?
Yes, this for Mini Pupper 2, especially for Mini Pupper 2 Pro, we we totally redesigned the serve. Wait a moment, I will show you. Wait a moment, I will let you know. Take a look at it.
Cool. Yeah, I have a lot of these just random kind of servos I've bought over the years laying around my, my closet where I store all the old electronics gear that I haven't used. And it's wild. I mean, the price difference it's one of those products where you really do get what you pay for. The cheaper servos are going to be louder, they're going to be slower, they're going to be less precise, they won't last as long. And so for something like this that is constantly moving, you really need to spend on those. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. As you can see, we use a special MCU board. We redesigned an MCU board to control the serve.
Yep.
One MCU to control 3 serve to get the position feedback, velocity, and torque feedback. Yeah, we have to redesign the serve board and write the coding the software.
So there's custom firmware on there is what you're saying that's cool.
Yeah.
David would like to know, continuing with the servos, David Wheeler in Zoom would like to know, are the servos controlled via serial bus or PWM?
Not PWM.
Not PWM? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Got a couple more questions here on some of the other services. How much does it weigh? How much does Mini Pupper 2 weigh? What's the weight?
About because let me think. About 415 G.
Okay.
450 grams.
Yeah.
50 grams. Yep. Don't remember how to do the math on that, so I'm not going to even try.
It's like a pound less than.
I'm American. We don't do those things. Yeah. So another question about the servos. So I noticed the way it walks, it kind of does that. Usually the two sides are sort of in sync when it's moving, but they're all individually controllable. Is that the case?
Yeah.
Each 4 of the legs. Very cool.
Yes.
Very
there
cool.
are several control algorithms, and you can try each one.
I'm personally really interested in how you accomplished the auto calibration, because that's always been a real hard thing with motors to for hobbyists, especially if you're like me and don't really know what you're doing most of the time. And it's easy to screw up. It's easy to do badly and then even just damage the servo, and now you got to go buy another one, right? So why I always buy 2 of everything. Like Satya with his laptops, I always buy multiple parts because I'm going to break one of them. It's just it's going to happen. I'd like to know a little bit more about like how you developed that process and how it actually works to calibrate the servos.
Yeah. Mini Pupper 2 servo, there will be position feedback, and we can use the mechanical position to, for example, we can move one leg to a special position. Then we can remember its position. Use this position to calibrate to the right position.
Okay, interesting. And so you can,
So
so
the
yeah, you
zero
have,
is very reliable. The canonical zero position is very reliable, and so from there they can bring it back.
Yeah.
yeah, that's really cool. What's the timeline for Humble Hawksbill integration for Pupper 2?
We plan to release it before our shipping.
Okay, so before you ship it, I think you said
yeah.
February was when you're shipping. So before shipping, you intend to have ROS 2 Humble Hawksbill supported.
Yeah. Maybe as I said, we will run Humble version on Mini Pupper at first. The gazebo is okay. We plan to launch Humble on Mini Pupper maybe next month.
Okay, awesome. Ross will be happy about that. I'll
Yeah.
so Kat Scott from Ross, our friend who's been on the show multiple times, actually introduced us to, so shout out to Kat. Thanks for making this show happen. She's a mover and a shaker. A couple more questions here on LinkedIn. Somebody'd like to know, keep more with the servos. People are fascinated by these servos. How much power do each of the servos consume?
Actually, we cannot. There is not clear performance result because there are a lot of one inside, so it's hard to get the accurate performance data now. But
For power?
yeah. But maybe early next year, after we fix the final hardware version, we will publish the final performance data.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and do our trivia question here before we
Can
get
I ask
to
the
some more
question today,
questions.
Phil?
Yeah, if you got one, you go right ahead.
I have a question.
So let me set it up first. So
All right.
folks, if you're just joining us for the first time, or if you need a little reminder, one of the things we do every single week here is a special giveaway to you in the audience. We will ask a trivia question this week chosen by our illustrious host, Dr. Satya Malik, about the presentation we just watched. If you answer it correctly, the first person to answer it correctly in the Zoom chat window will win the OpenCV course of their choosing. You can go check those out at opencv.org/courses. The first person to answer in the Zoom chat. Now, if you've won in the last couple of months, please don't answer and let other people get a chance to win. Take it away, Stu.
All right. So the name of the company here is Mangdang, and it is based on the name of the city in which the company started. Which famous company is based on the name of the city, San Francisco?
Great question. Great question.
Oh.
Let's see what they get. Let's see what they get in the chat.
Which famous company is based on the name of the city, San Francisco?
It's a good one. That was a good question. Let's see. We'll give them a few minutes here in the chat to figure it out.
Think about it. I'll repeat.
Oh, you're close. You're
close.
Spelling's a little bit off.
Spelling.
Ooh, Sunil.
Okay, I have to give it to Sunil, unfortunately, because the name of the company is Cisco. That's right. It is based on the name on the city name San Francisco, the last Cisco. Right.
Yeah. Congratulations, Sunil. Please send one email to phil@opencv.org. Include which course you would like, and we'll make sure the courses team makes that available to you free of charge. Congrats. We've got a few more questions here from folks on the other services here. A couple folks on LinkedIn have asked about the different modules. So you showed OakD Pro. You talked about OakD Pro being compatible, as well as OakD Lite, I think was the Mini Pupper original version. What other sort of modules have you tried out, such as you could talk about LiDAR a little bit? Which LiDAR modules have you used in the past?
LiDAR module is same with Mini Pupper, because we want to in our Kickstarter campaign, we also have a upgrade package, and our original user can upgrade to Mini Pupper 2 very easily. So we use the same LiDAR module.
What are the capabilities? What's the model number and capabilities of that LiDAR?
It's LD 19.
Okay.
Yeah. The LiDAR information, you can find the LiDAR information on our Kickstarter campaign page.
I'll drop that in the I'll drop the link to that and folks for folks as well. It's from LD Robot. Looks like the distance is 0.02 to 12 meters. Scanning frequency 5 to 13 hertz, 45 millimeter range accuracy, 360 scanning angle, 4,500 hertz frequency. Seems pretty capable, especially for being, you know, such a tiny little module.
Very tiny, very tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, there's a few more questions about which Raspberry Pi compute module does this use?
Yeah, we use CM4 module.
CM4.
Yeah, but we Raspberry 4B is also compatible in this in Mini Pupper 2 because you can see they are
nice. You got the mounts.
Yep. Yeah, you can put Raspberry 4B is also okay. Perfect.
That's great. So with Mini Pupper 2, with the original Mini Pupper, you said you shipped some thousands of modules. What are some of the funniest things you've seen from people that send you, you know, have posted about that they've either made for Mini Pupper or sent you a message about? What are some things that you've seen people make that you thought were really interesting or funny? Like customizations from folks out in the world.
Customers Mini Pupper, right?
Yeah.
A lot of use case.
Such as?
For example, someone make Mini Pupper to write.
Oh, really? Like a plotter, like a pen plotter?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. It gives it a little more personality too. There's a lot of, I think about this a lot with robots that.
An educated dog is.
Yeah, that's right. It can, and you know, I mean, you could run some machine learning stuff on here to have it do, you know, kind of auto translation and things like this. Maybe have it generate some sentences of its own. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. That is also our one of our targets.
Speaking a little bit more about the company, just a couple of folks wanted to know about Mangdang. How many folks work there, and what's the plan for the company itself?
Yeah, we are a small startup company, and but also but really a global team, and our member come from US, Japan, EU, Singapore, and Hong Kong. Chinese mainland, yeah. Totally about 10 guys in our core team.
Okay, yeah. Wow, this is a really impressive project for a small team to be able to pull off. I think it speaks very highly of the focus on the features and not trying to do too much. I think you've chosen really well what to build and what to just not work on. You know, it's hard. You see a lot of companies, these projects fail because they try to do too much. And I really like the focus on this Mini Pupper project, and I really want one now. I kind of,
yes,
it would be fun to just have it kind of running around my apartment and knocking stuff over like a real dog would, you know.
So I have to say I was very lucky, and I got many help from all the community, and yeah, I was very lucky.
The community is everything.
Yes,
yeah, we find it to be true at OpenCV as well, that, you know, many hands make short work. You know, it always helps to have more minds and more developers thinking about the same issues and sharing their thoughts and sharing their trials and what worked and what didn't. It makes it so things can happen in months instead of years, you know, in days instead of weeks and things like that. What a cool project. And so you said, so let's see, I think folks have 50 some hours to back it here. I'm looking at the campaign page, 69 hours to go. Nice. 200 backers currently. Go get yourself a Mini Pupper 2. You've also got about 29 hours, I think, to get yourself a Robotics Access for Everyone kit from Luxonis. That's Ray, R-A-E. So please go support that as well. Lots of really kick-ass robotics stuff coming out here in the Q4 2022 and shipping in Q1 2023. Really, really impressive stuff. We're getting close to the hour here. You want to take us home, Satya?
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining, and thank you so much, Afriz, for showing Mini Pupper 2 to us. And it is a really exciting project, and I wish you all the best for the Kickstarter campaign. It's already doing very well. And the last few days, as we know, that you can easily double sometimes the final amount. So to our viewers who are interested in the project, please go and back it if you are interested. This is coming from really good people, open source. They are also going to open source a lot of it. So I'm very excited about that. And finally, Phil, thank you so much for organizing this every week. This is a great show. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Luckily, it's my job.
Yes, thank you so much, Satya, Phil, and everybody.
Yes,
right.
Thank you, Afriz. Next week, our guest will be Andrew, who is using computer vision and machine learning to spot and calculate seal populations. It should be a really interesting look at how AI and computer vision are affecting natural science stuff. So look forward to that next week, Thursday, 9 a.m., same bat time, same bat channel. I am Phil Nelson. Have a great day wherever you may be.
Thanks so much for watching this episode of the webinar. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to tap the little bell icon to be notified when new episodes drop. This week's episode was brought to you by OpenCV Courses. Learn computer vision and AI from the best at opencv.org/courses. If you'd like to be in the audience next week, subscribe to the OpenCV newsletter.